Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Hey guys, this is Stephen Hooley, and today I'm going to go over a topic called time is money. I actually wrote a post about it about a year ago and put it on my website and social media, but I think it'd make a really good topic, and so I'm going to read through it and we're going to expand on it. One of the hardest lessons I've learned is giving away or spending my time too much on people, places, or things I shouldn't have. I do realize that many people besides myself struggle with this, and most don't ever break the habit. Being a busy entrepreneur or businessman or someone who works a job or a student, this can be detrimental. I want to share with the world how my mindset changed on this subject. Allow me to tell you something that changed my life. So I'm going to share a lesson with you guys that I learned over a year ago, and it really helped me. Then I'm going to expand on it a little bit. You've probably heard people say time is money or my time is valuable, right? We hear people say that all the time. In fact, sometimes when people's time is really valuable, people pay for that time, right? This is pretty common of people in the sales industry or even with people who just value themselves a lot. It's just common with people with high self-worth, which is not a bad thing, right? However, I realize that most people don't think about the fact that the concept really is time is money, but just the concept of it, not just the saying. We all hear the saying, right? And it goes much deeper than I think people realize. Think about it this way. No matter where you are getting money from, whether it be a business, a job, a loan, wherever, a stipend, you had to spend your time to receive that money. Now, businesses, sometimes you can spend a lot of time up front and then spend very little time later to receive the money. Jobs are typically something where you're just constantly trading time for money. And school, usually you have to be an intern of some kind at a company or something to earn money, unless you're in some kind of program where you're earning money while going to school. You know, with jobs especially, literally when an employer is paying you, they're giving you money that you agreed to down to the hour. So they are calculating what your time is worth down to the hour. When you go into a job, you're agreeing to this. You go apply for the job and you're saying, yes, for $14 an hour or $25 an hour or $7 an hour, this is what my time is worth and this is what you will pay me by the hour. You're agreeing for a transaction with your time. In business, when you say, my product is X amount, you're both calculating the cost of making the product, but also the time sometimes you put into teaching that product, sometimes creating that product. There's multiple facets around that, right? Time is money. In school, it's almost like an investment. You're investing in you, you're learning, and in your future, calculating that in the future, that time you spend in school and the money you spend paying for school will net you something later, okay? So, to break this down really practical in daily lives, when you answer a phone call, okay? When you answer a phone call, you're also, or let's break it down further. Every text you send, every message you send, every email you send, everything you do, you're transacting. Comments on social media, okay? Comments on social media too. Video responses, when you're on a video call, this all applies. You're engaging in a transaction of time. You're giving or spending your time and receiving somebody else's time, or maybe you're receiving somebody else's money, right? Which is their time. It's also their time, okay? I want to know that with autopilot systems, you have to still spend time to set things up, but you're still spending time, okay? So for those of you who are thinking right now, oh, the answer is an autopilot system, because I've had that come up before when I've talked about this. You're still spending time to set up the autopilot system. It gets you a much bigger net result, which we would call return on investment, and that's spectacular, but you're still spending time. So the bottom line, you are spending time. So what I want you to think about before the end of this video is what happens when you spend too much time on the things that don't bring money back into your life. Money, happiness, fulfillment. What happens when you're spending time and you're not getting anything back? Now that sounds like a selfish concept, but really we all have a certain amount of time in the day, right? If we want to be successful, if we want to have goals, look at the difference between somebody who has the same 24 hours you do and what are you doing differently than them. Look at somebody who's got what you want and somebody who is maybe a little less fortunate than you. You are obviously doing something different in your day with your hours, unless they have a disability or something, a disadvantage that's severe. We're speaking general here, right? But you are doing something different in your day than this person, and you are getting a bigger result, but you are not doing the same things as this person who was ahead of you, right? They are doing something different in their day and getting a better result than you. Your time and everything you do with it is a transaction, okay? So if you're not getting happiness in exchange for your time, maybe happiness looks like money. Maybe happiness looks like charity. Happiness can look like a lot of things, but if you're not getting that, your ROI is bad. Let me say that again. If you're not getting that, your ROI, return on investment, is bad, okay? Now, if you start thinking about the concept of money equating to time, just like I'm explaining, not just the regular saying, or even making sure the value you're getting back for your time is spent is equal or greater than what you gave, this concept in itself can change your life. Now, I'm not saying grow an ego. I'm not saying inflate yourself. I'm not saying that you should have such a high self-worth that you should not give your time to things like charity. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying think about time as a transaction. Calculate your time as something you're spending and what you're getting back on. And you'll notice places in your life where you can just switch little things and your life is going to change. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or any questions or any feedback, please feel free to reach out to me on social media or in the comments here on the video. Thanks for listening.